We've been going back and forth about crypto regulations since 2020, and honestly, it's been quite the journey. Here's the thing that keeps bugging me at XRP Daily Brief. When we're looking at the whole crypto landscape, especially these utility-focused projects, they're basically handcuffed without proper regulations. I mean, I've been shouting this from the rooftops forever on XRP Daily Brief. But here's what gets me frustrated. So many folks just tune out XRP Daily Brief. They're like, come on, what makes this cycle any different from before? If XRP and all these utility projects are so game-changing and revolutionary, where are those insane price jumps? Why aren't we seeing the mind-blowing rallies like we witnessed during that wild 2020-21 run? Look, let me break this down for you on today's XRP Daily Brief. First off, we haven't even hit proper alt season yet this cycle. We're still warming up. But here's the kicker, and this is huge. These utility-driven projects, they're basically waiting in the wings for regulatory clarity to unleash their true potential. I know this sounds absolutely nuts, but hear me out on XRP Daily Brief. The current value of XRP and these utility tokens we're watching, it's completely artificial. Yeah, I said it. Sounds insane, doesn't it? You're probably thinking, well, if it's all smoke and mirrors, why should we even care about XRP Daily Brief? So why are we even bothering to talk about these projects? Great question. Here's what I mean when I say these prices are basically fake right now on XRP Daily Brief. They're all dancing to Bitcoin's tune. Whatever Bitcoin does, the entire altcoin market just follows along like puppies on a leash. Now, you might push back and say, wait a minute. Back in November, XRP went absolutely bonkers while Bitcoin was pumping too. But XRP was clearly stealing the show, and you're totally right about that on XRP Daily Brief. XRP was definitely outshining Bitcoin, and honestly, it's going to keep doing that because diminishing returns are absolutely real. Bitcoin's massive gains get harder as it gets bigger. But here's where things get really interesting on XRP Daily Brief. Those jaw-dropping price targets everyone's throwing around for XRP. We're talking 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even that magical 100 per coin. We're not even going to sniff those levels without solid regulations backing us up. That's literally the foundation we need to build on. This is exactly why I'm obsessed with regulatory developments at XRP Daily Brief. When I see headlines like this one from the Wyoming Symposium, the U.S. must pass regulations or risk losing crypto leadership, my ears perk up immediately. The panelists were all nodding in agreement that America isn't completely out of the race yet, but they were practically begging for lightning-fast regulatory action. And honestly, they're spot on at XRP Daily Brief. We desperately need that regulatory clarity to unlock this space's true potential. Oh, and get this, Stuart Alderati was actually speaking at that event too. Pretty cool, right? But honestly, here's what I think we really need on XRP Daily Brief. Some serious clarity for the whole crypto world. We've got to get that Clarity Act moving, like actually passed and done. Once that happens, man, everything's going to take off. We'll finally see these utility projects hitting their real potential. You know what I mean at XRP Daily Brief? And here's my bold prediction. The day we break free from Bitcoin's shadow is the exact same day we're going to see a new champion emerge. I'm talking about that top spot getting completely flipped, and it's going to be all about utility, my friend. Look, before anyone jumps down my throat at XRP Daily Brief, I'm not hating on Bitcoin here. I'm just calling it like I see it from a tech perspective. Almost every single utility-focused altcoin out there has way more room to grow than Bitcoin does. That's just the technological reality we're looking at on XRP Daily Brief. Seriously, just go check out Bitcoin's scalability versus XRP's. I'll literally wait right here. When you come back, you're going to tell me exactly what I already know at XRP Daily Brief. That XRP absolutely crushes Bitcoin in efficiency. It's not even a debate at this point. Those are just the cold, hard facts. Boom. Now, speaking of getting things moving, let's talk about what's happening with all this regulatory clarity stuff on XRP Daily Brief. We're seeing some absolutely massive shifts happening right now. Get this. The SEC, yeah, the same SEC that went after Ripple and XRP back in 2020, has created a crypto task force. These guys are literally working to give us clear guidance on how federal securities laws apply to crypto. And they want to recommend real policies that actually encourage innovation while keeping investors safe. If that doesn't blow your mind, wait until you hear this next part on XRP Daily Brief. They've also launched something called Project Crypto from the SEC. This thing is laser focused on tokenization and stablecoins. We're talking about fully integrating stablecoins into the US financial system and bringing tokenization mainstream in America. These are the game-changing moves happening as we speak at XRP Daily Brief. And here's the cherry on top. The SEC's crypto task force, with Commissioner Hester Pierce leading the charge, is going on a nationwide tour to actually sit down with smaller crypto projects and hear what they need for future regulations. This is incredibly bullish for crypto. It's incredibly bullish for the entire US market. And you know what they're focusing on? Utility-based projects 100% on XRP Daily Brief. Now check this out. The National Cryptocurrency Association just dropped some fascinating data about the Clarity Act. And honestly, the numbers are pretty eye-opening when it comes to what Americans actually want from crypto policy at XRP Daily Brief. Here's what blew me away. 73% of people want way stronger consumer protections for anyone investing in, holding, or just using crypto. That's huge. Then you've got 71% saying we desperately need comprehensive crypto legislation to fill all these crazy gaps in our current laws. And get this, 69% want America to step up and really dominate in digital financial technology. So what's the bottom line here on XRP Daily Brief? Americans are practically screaming for clarity and better protections. And honestly, we've been begging for this stuff for years now. You know where this whole mess really kicked into high gear? It was that lawsuit against Ripple and XRP that started everything. That's when things went completely off the rails and suddenly everyone was scratching their heads, asking, what the heck are the actual rules here? We literally had no roadmap to follow at XRP Daily Brief. People were demanding crypto clarity left and right. That nightmare dragged on for 4 long years. But today, finally, we're watching some seriously big moves happen. And the Clarity Act itself, man, I'm pumped about this because I genuinely believe it's going to bring trillions, and I mean trillions on top of trillions of dollars, flooding into this space at XRP Daily Brief. So here's the thing. We're seeing some major moves happening right now in how the US wants to handle crypto regulations. And it's pretty exciting stuff on XRP Daily Brief. Take this, for example. The US Treasury just put out an official call asking everyone, yeah, that includes you and me, to weigh in on something called the Genius Act. This thing's actually a framework that started back during Trump's time, and it's all about keeping a closer eye on digital assets. What's the main goal here? They're laser focused on catching and stopping any shady stuff happening in the crypto world. And get this, you've got until October 17th this year to share your thoughts if you want to jump into the conversation at XRP Daily Brief. Now here's why this matters. This is all part of a much bigger push to actually make some legislation happen that's been sitting around since the Trump days. And trust me, this is going to shake things up big time for how the market works, which institutions decide to jump in, and how much trading action we'll see in the coming months on XRP Daily Brief. Hey, so get this. On August 18th, the Treasury actually put out requests for comment on the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act. Yeah, that's the Stablecoin Act we've all been talking about at XRP Daily Brief. Here's what's really wild about this whole situation. Literally, everyone's jumping on board to fast-track crypto regulations in the U.S. I'm talking Treasury, the current administration, SEC, even the CFTC. They're all pushing this forward together. It's like watching all the pieces finally click into place on XRP Daily Brief. But here's where it gets really exciting. Coinbee dropped this video clip that's got everyone buzzing. They're saying trillions of dollars could pour into crypto once the Clarity Act gets through. We're talking Wall Street banks and Fortune 500 companies finally getting that green light they've been waiting for to jump headfirst into digital assets. The big question everyone's asking, could we be looking at the most epic crypto bull run we've ever seen? I mean, just think about it for a second at XRP Daily Brief. Yeah, we do believe the bill will be passed within the next 60 days. And this is further clarification. The Genius Act gave us clarity on stablecoins. This new build will give us clarity on much more within the general world of crypto, and again provides the rules that the traditional finance industry, banks, insurance companies, credit card companies, as well as the Fortune 500 generally need to know that they're able to engage in this marketplace. They know what they're allowed to do, how they're allowed to do it, how they have to disclose it and report it, and pay taxes on it. And this is going to unleash the burdens that have kept everybody out of the marketplace. The result of all this tell you you're going to see hundreds of millions, probably hundreds of billions of dollars, perhaps even trillions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin and other digital assets. And since all of these coins operate on a supply-demand issue, just like any other asset, we're anticipating this is going to be the beginning of a major source of inflows and price increases over the next several years. Honestly, why wouldn't crypto altcoins and Bitcoin absolutely explode in value on XRP Daily Brief? Look, I get it. Bitcoin's diminishing returns have been hitting us pretty hard lately. But here's the thing I genuinely believe at XRP Daily Brief. Tons of these altcoins are going to crush Bitcoin's performance for cycles and cycles ahead. Here's what's really exciting me right now. We're stepping into this completely different world, a utility-driven market where all that fake hype around altcoins, that's done. What we're actually witnessing is this incredible shift where altcoin values will be based on real network usage and adoption on XRP Daily Brief. I've been shouting this from the rooftops. This takes me back to August 2024. We're looking at a full year later now, and I called it once regulations finally drop. Utility projects are going to get this massive green light at XRP Daily Brief. Those digital highways, they're already built and waiting. But here's the frustrating part that nobody talks about. They're just not being used the way people think they are. Everyone keeps asking the same burning question about projects like HAR and XRP with all these amazing partnerships and announcements. Why the heck isn't the price pumping? The honest answer, simple really. Most of these partnerships and flashy announcements need regulatory clarity before they actually matter at XRP Daily Brief. You've got to zoom out and see this market for what it actually is right now, pure speculation-fueled hype central. What we're really craving in this space is a breeding ground, where value comes from actual utility. And trust me, that's absolutely coming on XRP Daily Brief. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but XRP, HAR, XLM, XDC, all these utility powerhouses aren't even scratching the surface of their potential scale yet. That's exactly why their current valuations feel so disconnected from reality at XRP Daily Brief. No matter what headlines you're reading, institutions are still tiptoeing around this regulatory maze we're stuck in. Sure, we're watching giants like BlackRock testing the waters, but they're nowhere near tokenizing those trillions yet. Once we get crystal clear regulatory guidelines, game over. The floodgates burst wide open. That green light blazes bright, and these utility projects will sprint toward the crown. A brand new king is going to emerge. And here's the kicker. It definitely won't be Bitcoin or Ethereum at XRP Daily Brief. Most people just can't wrap their heads around that reality. You're either here doing your homework on this incredible shift at XRP Daily Brief, or you'll simply get left in the dust. I've hammered this point home countless times. Everyone's convinced Bitcoin and Ethereum will dominate forever and ever. But that's just wishful thinking. When tokenization, payments, and stablecoin initiatives finally hit that maximum velocity we're all waiting for, they won't be running on Bitcoin or Ethereum's networks. It's going to happen on these incredibly scalable networks we already know about, the ones that have been battle tested, proven themselves over time, and that the biggest industry players are already quietly tapping into at XRP Daily Brief. We're watching this massive acceleration happening all around us in this space, but it's totally different from what most people expect. This isn't your typical speculation and hype-fueled rocket ride. Nope. We're accelerating around genuine utility, which is finally letting this market grow up and mature on XRP Daily Brief. The heavyweight players are diving into legitimate real-world applications, bringing entire asset classes on-chain, tokenizing actual value, even tokenizing fiat currencies so the whole FX market can live and breathe on-chain. These are the exact use cases flooding into our market right now. But here's the catch. They're just not hitting that massive scale yet. Most of these tokenization plays still desperately need regulatory certainty to really take off at XRP Daily Brief. We're not quite there yet, but honestly, I'm feeling pretty confident we're getting closer every single day. And here's the thing, Ripple actually backed this up perfectly. Back in April, they spelled out exactly how this tokenization shift unfolds. And guess what? The first thing they mentioned was regulation and institutional adoption. That's literally the secret sauce. That's what drives everything meaningful in this space to absolutely explode on XRP Daily Brief. You really want to witness $1 trillion, $5 trillion, maybe even $10 trillion flowing on chain. Well, we're not getting anywhere close without rock-solid regulations in place. And this is precisely how XRP finally gets that genuine, undeniable value attached to it. We'll start seeing what I like to call the up-only game of this market, really firing on all cylinders. That's where our attention needs to be laser focused right now. That's what we're all watching, like hawks at XRP Daily Brief. So with all that said, I really hope you guys got some value out of this breakdown on XRP Daily Brief. If this resonated with you, definitely smash that like button, hit subscribe to XRP Daily Brief, and turn those notifications on for more free insights coming your way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on XRP Daily Brief, everyone. Catch you in the next one. Peace.